Ridiculous Danger presents Baron.
Good morning, Natalie. I hope you slept better than I did. I don't know. I don't remember it being this loud when I was a kid, but there are coyotes or something out beyond the tree line that just howl all night. It sounds like a zoo. I'm headed into town to do a couple of interviews. I hope I'm doing a couple of interviews. My first visit is Callum McDonough. He's the bookshop guy. He seems to have known them the best, so I'm gonna play the "my grandparents just died" card and see if I can't get him to go on tape. After that is Teresa Watts. She's the town veterinarian, and as you can imagine, in a farming community like this, she deals with everything from gerbils to cows. Pets, livestock, and wildlife. That's how she put it on the phone. I'll see what she can make of that thing I caught. I was too freaked out to describe it last night, but it's bigger than a rat, or it's the size of a small possum, I guess. It has 4 legs, but they seem longer than normal somehow. It stands higher than a rat. That's all I know. And I can't... How do I explain this? It's almost reptilian? I don't know. It freaks me the hell out. That's why it's in the trunk. And you can stay there until I'm good and ready, you mutant fuck.
Good day, Mrs. Bennings. Thank you.
Okay, just so I have it, could you introduce yourself?
All right. My name is Callum McDonough. I'm the proprietor of Cover to Cover Books here in Williamson.
And can you just describe your store?
What you mean?
Like what kind of books do you have here?
I offer new releases, of course, and a wide selection of classics. And I can also locate collector's editions, first printings, that sort of thing.
So rare books.
Aye. But that part of my business is mostly mail orders from folks in other cities, New York, Chicago, and London. Not many collectors here in town.
My grandparents were, though.
Yeah, they were frequent clients.
And what type of books did they collect?
Are you sure you want to do this?
You agreed to go on the record.
You insisted.
Look, come on. No one in town will go on tape. I need someone to give me something, anything. And you knew them. It sounds like you may have known them better than most.
They were more than customers. They were my friends.
Okay, then. Right. Please, tell me what kind of books they collected.
Fine. They collected books on ancient rituals, some pagan, mostly, though most of them would fall under the category of demonology.
Demonic rituals.
Mostly European Christian demonology, but some from Eastern religions, Islam, Buddhism, things like that, and some texts about African tribal and Egyptian histories.
Is there like a, I mean, I don't know anything about rare books. Is there a market for those books, or who are they hoping to sell to?
Turn that off. Turn that thing off.
Why?
The people around here, they don't like what your grandparents did. And the sting of your father and what he...
Look, we don't need to talk about that.
Your family name is synonymous with scandal, all right? And it went from your father's unthinkable crime to... Well, look, I'm all for spiritual exploration, but this went beyond the pale, okay?
Hang on. You're saying they used those books? Not for collecting, but as like actual practical guides?
Townsfolk tell stories.
Come on, man. That's not news. People have gossiped about my family since I was a kid. Jeez.
All right. Heath Show went by there one afternoon to drop off a package that was mistakenly delivered to his address. He said Harriet answered the door, and he could hear John in the other room speaking in a language he couldn't place. He said it sounded like a chant.
Heath? Heath couldn't identify basic English. If the words have more than 2 syllables.
Okay. Barbara Masters drove past the property out there one night when she was coming back from volunteering in Sheffield or something, and she saw John and Harriet standing naked in that field, surrounded by animal carcasses.
Ah, bullshit. They're just making shit up to justify their shitty knitting circle chatter.
I have clients who have, let's say, unusual interests. If you're a church-going member of the community who has an interest in sadomasochism or, I don't know, bestiality, yeah, I can help you find some texts that might satiate that curiosity. What I don't do is tell people what you bought from me. I'm no fool, Peter. A man's mind can have a great many shameful thoughts, but if we were to judge each other on our deepest secrets, that would make us all seem irredeemably vile. Not a community, but a nest of sinners. You know, so I never told anyone what kind of books John and Harriet bought from me. Hell, if anyone even knew I had them in my possession, I'd be run out of town myself.
So
Heath Richaud and Barbara Masters didn't know your grandparents were studying demonology. Heath just heard what he heard. Barbara just saw what she saw.
Okay, I'll admit I never really felt welcome here, even as a kid, but small towns, I mean, it's what people do here. Everybody in town whispers about everyone else.
Aye, but when they used to whisper about your family, it was about murder, not Satanism. I moved here after you left town, and your father...
Don't.
Look, I know he was sick, but
can you
when
please,
your father killed
Please stop!
Excuse me for a moment. Excuse me. Hello, Mrs. Harris. Yes, got your book right here. Yep. Yeah, no trouble at all.
Fuck.
I said he could be here.
Stupid. Fuck.
All right then. My best to your husband. Enjoy it. Thank you. All right. Listen. Publicly, the people here supported your grandparents. They did all of the things you're supposed to do in a tragedy. They prayed for them at church, baked them a casserole, laughed with them over drinks at the lodge. Privately, though, they thought your grandparents raised a psychopath. And these recent stories, it was just fuel for the fire. I'm sorry. I'm trying to say something pushed these people from thinking your grandparents were criminals to thinking they were Satanists. That's quite a leap.
Is it, though?
I think
if everyone already thought so little of them, why not claim they're Satanists or cannibals or invaders from the moon? It doesn't mean a fucking thing. None of it means anything. They were not goddamn Satanists.
Your grandparents were good people. I'm sorry this happened. I'm sorry they never seemed to get a break. All right?
Look, I have an appointment with Dr. Watts, so I should go. Well, that was not what I expected. I tried to get her, Dr. Watts, to go on tape, but she refused. Except for Callum, that seems to be par for the course around here. Not sure why. She said what I brought her was an ordinary field rat. When I pointed out the abnormally long legs, she said some rats just have longer legs. I asked about the flattened snout. She said it's common. I mentioned the scales under the fur. She said it was more likely burn tissue. And yeah, I got that was a thinly veiled reference to my grandma and grandpa. I mean, everything I asked her about, she brushed off. And the whole time she seemed like put out or something, like annoyed. Annoyed that I brought her a biological discovery to examine. I mean, what kind of doctor does that? I grew up on that farm. I've seen enough rats to fill an Olympic pool. That was no fucking rat. She euthanized it. Good riddance. Okay, well, Callum had a lot to say about my grandparents and the people in town, so that's good. Finally, someone on the record. Jeez. So, Nat, I'm going to edit it down for you, though, because there's some stuff you just don't need. He, before I left, he asked if he could give me some books. He said, I see the world through books, or whatever. He thought that would help, I guess. He gave me a Grief Observed, which, I mean, honestly, I read it in college. I'm not really interested in studying the stages of grief right now. And another one called Prometheus Rising. He said it something about unlocking the powers of the mind. Sounds like a bunch of ESP bullshit to me. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and start reading this Prometheus Rising one tonight. At the very least, it'll put me to sleep. Hopefully, I don't know. With all the noises outside at night, it's just been awful. I guess I could. Looks like there's a note stuck in the pages here. Holy shit. It says, "Be careful, Peter. They're watching you." Who's watching me?
Baron is created by David Vienna and is a Ridiculous Danger production. For episode credits and more information, visit baronpodcast.com.